Hi everyone, it's Kristina Kitsos and I'm back to give you another lesson about the science behind the beauty. So today we're going to talk about Botox. Botox is the most popular non-surgical aesthetic procedure that we do. I do Botox every day and people love it. So the most common areas to get Botox are usually the frown lines or the 11 lines, the horizontal lines across the forehead, and the crow's feet. And I do all those areas and they look amazing to a certain extent. You don't want to kind of ever overdo anything. But I wanted to talk to you today about different areas off the beaten path that I love to do Botox. What I like to do is something called Botox sprinkles because I find expression beautiful and I want to be able to be expressive. But I just want those lines a little less deep. So what I'll do is I'll take the Botox and I'll dilute it. And I do something called Botox sprinkles, which are just a little sprinkling of Botox so that you can still move your forehead and be excited and surprised. Another area that I'll do Botox sprinkles is the neck. Because as we age, the skin here can become a little bit lax. By putting just a little bit of Botox sprinkled around the neck, it can tighten it up. It also can help for acne. So a lot of times when I do the Botox sprinkles in the forehead, people tell me that their breakouts really decrease. And so that makes me really happy. A lot of us have these bands in our neck, and I can show you mine like a turtle. If I was to Botox these, my neck would be tighter. And maybe I should. As we get older and our chin skin gets thinner, we can see where the muscle attaches to the skin and it's not pretty. It looks like the skin of an orange and that's why it's called the peau d'orange, the skin of the orange. So by putting a little Botox in the chin, we can decrease that kind of cobblestone look of the chin. For people that clench and grind their jaw, they can grow these really big masseter muscles. And I always can tell when someone comes in with big, huge masseter muscles, I know that they either chew gum all day, clench, or grind, all of which are not good for the long-term health of your temporomandibular joint. Just talk to your dentist about that, and I'm sure he or she will agree. So by putting some Botox in these big masseter muscles, if they're too big, if you're a grinder or a clencher, then what that does is it decreases the bulk and it makes your face look more even and proportional. And it also saves that joint, your temporomandibular joint. For people that have hyperhidrosis, and if you have it, you know what I'm talking about, it's excessive sweating. So you put a new t-shirt on and you haven't even walked out of the door, like already you have these big sweat marks, or maybe you just got some bad news or you have a little bit of anxiety. If you sweat right away and it gets in the way of your life, Botox can really be a lifesaver. I have so many clients that I do their underarms because they really can't wear silk or cotton without it showing right away. And it's saved their wardrobe. Also, it saves you for if you have hyperhidrosis of your hands, for when you go to shake somebody's hand and it's always sweaty, we can put Botox in your hands. And then the bottom of your feet, in the soles of your feet. Some people have hyperhidrosis of the soles of their feet and it makes wearing certain shoes very difficult, if not impossible. And so I can treat that and it will really make a big difference in your life. But the other thing that we can do with Botox is if it's put right on the side of the eyebrow, it really gives kind of a nice lift to the outer edge of your eyebrow, and I call that a brow lift. It's subtle, but it's really nice. Calf muscles. So there's a lot of women, especially from maybe some of the Asian countries, that are concerned that their calves are a little bit too wide. And Botox, when it's done correctly, can actually narrow the calf muscles. And it's probably going to seem like it's not that big of a deal, but if you have it, you realize that it would make a big difference, especially in the wintertime when you're trying to wear boots. It's really hard to get some boots to fit when your calf muscles are really large. And so by putting in some Botox, I can thin down your calf muscle and make it much easier to find boots that fit, and just to give your legs that balance and the correct proportion so that you can feel really confident when you're wearing your skirts. It will not affect the way you walk at all. So for all you guys out there, I want you to come in and see me for Botox. It's time to get rid of that angry scowl. Everyone thinks you're upset, and I know you're not. And so let's just put a little Botox in there, and it'll actually help with any sort of headaches you have. It'll soften up those 11s, those lines there, so that it doesn't look so severe. Also, maybe a little bit around the crow's feet. I like to be very, very minimal when I treat men because I think that lines are good, but maybe just a few less. So that's 101 ways to use Botox, and I'm sure I'll come up with some more. When you come and see me, just remember, I'll always be very conservative and very meticulous.